Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. When you look at this picture here, you see females bowing down to some guys with some kind of robes on, with pointy hats, hoods, things of that nature. And so it is with the Klan, right? Very similar. Look at that comparison. And of course it goes back to the checker for Freemasonry, where a lot of these groups are said to have got their ideas, right? Nathan Bedford Forrest was a Klansman. William Joseph Simmons, who started the second Klan, was in over a dozen fraternities, almost certainly a Freemason as well. So you see the commonalities. And we hear about, Morals and Dogma by Albert Pike and the Luciferian Doctrine and so on and so forth. There's no way around that is a solid connection. Now go ahead and I went ahead and put that by these other pictures to show you. You see how this guy, he wants people who look like him. He's even doing his quote-unquote martial arts in a suit. He wants people who look like him to seem superior. And these people aren't exactly martial artists. So when we look at this depiction here, hold on a second here. So here's another picture to show you, the satanic, right? Satanic sex, sorcery, and spirit. This satanic imagery and different references that show you it's very much a part of popular culture. Okay. And of course, there's this guy who resembles this guy, right? Cultural commonalities, shared cultural values, what have you. Here we have this movie called Knucklehead about a WWE guy. He's basically mocking the idea of martial arts, but there are strong parallels with MMA, which is also a form of mockery, right? UFC is fuck scramble, which goes back to, sex, sorcery, and spirit, right? And those females bowing down, kind of like the females who in boxing matches, UFC fights and things like that, they're scantily clad and they carry the round signs between rounds, etc. Here we have circus, right? Circus versus focus, right? So he's kind of unfocused. He's kind of like an anime fan, having fun with it, so on and so forth. He's kind of like a crypto Jew Asian when you look at his exact kind of figure. So look at how he's depicted. Keep that in your mind for a second. 3, 2, 1. Now look at how this guy is shaped. See the distinction? Okay, there's a similarity between that guy and that guy. But Asians in general, the better martial artists, didn't tend to be shaped like the crypto Jew. Now let's go over here. Okay, again, remember it says it's circus, right? Versus, again, I don't go to focus martial arts. I'm not a part of vision martial arts, but here it says here, focus, right? It's a martial art principle, as is intelligence, positivity, physical fitness, honesty, listening to masters, right? Who's the real master? I'm the master of masters. And here we have, in this one, they made it blurry, and I decided to print it out anyway. Okay, it says speed and stealth and movement and innovation, right? It has a brain depicted there, and also insight, right? Going back to vision. Okay, a sword fight is like the game of chess, right? You must think first before you move, what have you. And there's this, right? This goes back to Royal African Falcon martial arts, but this isn't. This guy does not represent the top martial artist ever of all time. He's not my master or anything like that, but he shows you there's a solid connection between, kind of Asian martial arts and African martial arts. When I talk about Obi, Kuro, Obi, Black Belt, Obi and Igbo means King Heart, Essence, Center, Core, Temple, what have you. Okay, that guy is probably depicting an occultist of some kind. I don't know exactly who this person is or what tribe he belongs to for that matter, but there's strong parallels and connections between that and evil culture like the elephant tusk and so on and so forth. All right, so there's that. Also keep in mind that they have changed. They've edited these pictures to confuse you. You see how it looks like? It almost looks like it has a gay shape to it because they edited it, right? They covertly edited my images to cover up the fact that I'm the top martial artist and so on and so forth. And this is in 2020, 2014. Okay, they're doing immature stuff to change my shape. And again, we'll leave it there. I mean, there's all kinds of, connection here. Lucifer and the Ku Klux Klan guy, this Klan guy here. I've been studying a lot of things, and the Klan, to some degree, was one of them. Okay, come across a lot of pictures, a lot of documentaries, a lot of information. And it is clear, okay, that the society we live in is very much like the rappers would say, America, okay? Because when you see the rise of the occult, the Western occult is the rise of the Klan, okay? It is the rise of the Klan in the sense that it's the rise of Klan thinking, okay? So it's, the fraternity thinking, right? Like these guys aren't necessarily in the Klan. They're not necessarily in some overtly satanic group, but they're kind of fraternity thinking, right? They're kind of meeting in robes and doing rituals and going, ooh, we're doing a ritual, and so on and so forth. Also, look at how there's a baby right there in that picture, right? They're children. They take great pride in raising their children like them. And see, his face is kind of like disassociated and bitter, unfocused. And so it is with hers. When we look at their faces, it is that. So what is focused to them is not focused to me. For example, compare the difference between this guy, look at him carefully, and Martin Luther King depicted here. They probably edited his picture a little bit, but you see there's a kind of genius in Martin Luther King's look, and there's a kind of ignorance in this guy's look. And there's a superior martial genius, but they edited it and try to blur it with a Jewish-looking person. For example, this female right here is Jewish-ish looking, right? See that look? Also, when you look at this guy, I believe, Anton LaVey, if I'm not mistaken, he is an Ashkenazi Jew, of Ashkenazi Jew descent. And you see how there's some similarity with how I look in the face and how he looks in the face. Okay, and they do that, they blur that line to try to confuse you, right? Because Set, right, like the Temple of Set and Michael Aquino and them, historically, is a deity of confusion, organized rape, the principles of evil, which obviously include organized rape, storms, chaos. And you see when in the end, when Jesus comes back on a cloud, there's said to be a storm in Isaiah 13, and in other Old Testament books, it says that the women will be raped. At least one other book, it says the women will be raped, right? So the storm, the confusion of the storm, the rape, they're all connected. Okay, I'm not necessarily saying that these guys are rapists. But when you look at what rape by deception is, I'm pretty sure you can do the math there. So if you look at this video, I proved my point to a large degree. Also, keep in mind the Mason shape, right? You see Masons, right? Look at how he's shaped. Look at how he's shaped, right? Carrying a hammer, right? Forging something, right? For God or for the devil, right? Forged. For what? Form and forge, right? Formula. Okay? What is that about? Okay? These guys do not do martial arts. Look at the shape of their body. They do not do surgical striking, fast martial arts. They don't do outmaneuver martial arts. They do kind of brute force, kind of wear armor. You see a lot of Hebrew Israelites, for example, dressed in armor and stuff like that, big old axes and stuff like this. And notice this guy right here, he's holding a sword, right? The white knights of the Klan, he's like a shorter white guy, a shorter Jew-shaped guy, sort of Jewish-shaped guy. And he has a sword, and he's stepping on, I don't know how it shows up here, he's stepping on a black person in that picture. So do you think they want to acknowledge me as the top martial artist ever? You think they want people to acknowledge that God chose me and not people like this guy right here? Okay? No. And that is a key part of this. So I've established in this video that there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that their campaign against me, even in this one video alone, right? They're editing my images. And especially when I bring up this, I have over 22 witnesses on record, is an organized hate crime, racist campaign being done by the government, and they're coercing people to some degree and bribing them and so on and so forth to get them to help them.